Stupidity.
Okay, class, you can say hi to each other. Hello. So we're going to start a new chapter. Okay, let's take a look. So we have chapter number 2. It's about entrance via learning the Dharma. Stage 1 is explanation on the mind's development regarding learning the Dharma. So we can see that. So we are able to see, okay. Okay, so we are able to see that there's a arising of the delight, discarding all thoughts, determination to practice, and arising of the diligence. Sorry, I didn't send you this sketch, right? I didn't send you all right. This diagram, I didn't send you all. Okay, never mind, we'll send you later on. Well, how about the notes? You purchase from Amazon? Amazon, you purchase from Amazon, whether soft or hard copy. Okay, fine. So I will send this later on to you all. Please just take a look. So this is about the chapter 2. In number 1 is explanation on the mind development regards and learning the Dharma. Then we got the stage 2. Stage 2 is explanation on reliance on the good spiritual guide to enter the righteous Dharma. You see, reliance on the good spiritual guide. And in stage 3 is the explanation on the reality of learning the Dharma, encouraged to advance. So you have to know that already the Dharma, so that to encourage more people to advance to it. Okay. And then in stage 4 is explain the differences in the goals of the 3 grades of the practice and how they mutually support and encompass each other. We have to understand the differences in the goal of the 3 grades of the practice. Okay. So today, we'll try, I think our scope is in stage 1. Number 1, contemplate on the virtue of learning the Dharma, thus arousing the mind that delights in learning the Dharma. And second, we'll learn 2 similes. And the third is the form mentality, to give rise to a mind that exerts effort to practice. I think we might be in number 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So let's go back to the original text. Okay. So Yokwah, can you please read it out after taking refuge?
After taking refuge, one should hear more of the true Dharma, for only by doing so can one enter into the Buddhist way. Some people think the Buddha Dharma should be practiced. What is the use of hearing the Dharma? In the assembly of Surangama, the Honorable Ananda was always hearing, yet was unable to attain enlightenment, and he was incapable of avoiding mandagis and dismant. They do not know that the Honorable Ananda's problem with always hearing was actually not a problem of hearing the Dharma. All the scriptures say that if one wants to learn and practice the Buddha Dharma, hearing the Dharma is a must. If one does not hear any of it, how can one learn about emancipation from birth and death, about the most blissful land and Amitabha Buddha, about the way to self-realization, about the true Dharma of Buddhism? If one does not listen to or hear anything, one will not even know about taking refuge in the 3 treasures. The benefits of hearing. By hearing, one knows all dharmas. By hearing, one can halt the advance of all evils. By hearing, one can end meaningless matters. By hearing, one can attain nirvana. These are the verses in the scriptures that prize the merits of hearing the Dharma. It can be said that all the merits of the Buddha Dharma comes from hearing the Dharma. Nagarjuna Bodhisattva said there are 3 sources from which one should hear the Dharma: from the Buddha, from the Buddha's disciples, and from the spiritualists. To hear the Dharma from the Buddha and his disciples means hearing the spoken discourses. All the sutra says the real teaching comes through listening to the sounds of the teaching. But since Sakyamuni Buddha has entered Nirvana, we can hear the Dharma only from his disciples.
What is the disciple?
Or disciple. Even though all the Buddhas of the 10 directions are expounding the Dharma, we cannot hear them speak unless we have learned and practiced to a very high level. Hearing the scriptures means to make the past as one's teacher and understanding the Buddha Dharma through reading the sutras and discourses. Hearing the Dharma from the Buddha's disciples or from a reading of the sutras are therefore both called attending to the Dharma. This is where the study of the Buddha Dharma begins.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, Kamling, you are driving, so just be careful, ha. Okay, ha. Jangan melanggar longkang lah, ha. A question to the banana, attending to the Dharma, it is English. Is this the English we say attending to Dharma? It is a valid English. Dear all bananas. Yes, it is valid language, English. Okay, so class, first of all, can you please check for me the references for this chapter? Okay, what references mostly coded by the author for this chapter? Please check for me. What sutra, what Abhidhamma, what commentary are mostly coded? Or why you can get the book so soon? Amazon is effective sending you the book.
No, it takes 6 weeks to deliver to my office.
Oh,
I ordered this book after Christmas last year.
Oh, I see. Order quite early lah. Okay. Yes. Okay. What is the reference? You want to make sure you look for the proper pages. On the mic, please.
GT.
What page is it, Sally?
Page 360.
Okay, correct. Okay, yes. Okay. Please go through all which is appeared mostly in the references.
Surangama Sutta.
Agree, class? Surangama is the recurring mostly.
GT, yeah.
Yeah, number
GT.
one and
GT, yeah.
Now on the mic, please. Yes.
GT.
GT. GT stand for what?
Great thesis on the sequence of attaining enlightenment.
Okay, great treatise. Okay, yeah, this is a 大智度论啊. Okay, there is good prajna paramita or some treatise. Should be this. Then what else? Frequent mostly.
Surangama.
A class, Surangama, I think it's not that frequent, right? Not that frequent,
No,
right?
no. Sorry. It's Dhamma-pundarika Sutra. SS.
SS. Okay. This is quite frequent appear, right? Again, Sally, read it again.
Dhamma-pundarika Sutra.
Okay, this is the Dharma Flower Sutra. Okay, class.
Yes.
So meaning to say, Saddhamma or Pundarika Sutra. This is the Dharma Flower Sutra. Okay, yes. So this is number 1 and 2. One is the Great Treatise. Okay. Second is the Dharma Flower. Great Treatise is the Mahaprajnaparamita by Nagarjuna. Then what else? This 2 is the quite 2 only, right?
Yes. 2.
Frequently, quite frequently appeared. All right. Okay, thank you so much, class. So we know we will learn from this mainly from this sutra commentary so we know that. Okay, okay, class. Thank you so much. So please look at me now. Okay, I want to get your attention. All right. Okay, class. Now we are in the chapter we call it as attending to the Dharma. So meaning to say that after taking refuge, we should try to learn the Dharma. But sadly to say that, I think my way may be a little bit outdated to the young guy. So all young guy run away already. You see, taking refuge actually is maybe interesting for the senior, but for the junior, they think so boring and technical. And maybe or maybe they use to the Facebook with the video clip, very short. All these things with a lot of music, maybe they used to this type of information already. Now when they go to the whole book, textbook, they feel it's too long. I don't know whether it's real or not. Maybe you can research for me. It seems all the young people all gone away. All remain is the old people like you. Right? You see, all right, am I right? All is the old people remain. We are not that era, you know. The guy who live always a Facebook with a very short information, or they used to be very short information. Now it's a long reading, you see. Okay, so class, we talk about attending to the Dharma, meaning to say that you have to listen to the Dharma after taking the refuge. Okay, because without listening to the Dharma, you don't know there is a reincarnation, you don't know there is the Western Pure Land, you don't know there is emancipation, you don't know there is so many things. So you have to begin everything from attending to the Dharma or listen to the Dharma. Should I know if you get the Dharma from Facebook and Google, are they considered as listening to the Dharma? Yes or no? Facebook and Google and YouTube, Facebook and YouTube is considered yes or no attending to the Dharma. Okay, Elena vote, Jokwa vote, Mrs. Leong vote. How about Sally and also Mr. Leong? Yes, everybody get it correct. Yes, it's considered yes. You are attending to the Dharma. Okay, through Facebook. Facebook, if you get the information via Facebook, it's a medium problem only. You change the medium. Okay, class. Basically, reading is still considered as partial of the listening power. Hearing power. According to some expertise. Why? Because the brain which involved, I think, is about left brain. Because we are still do a lot of reading, even though you watch by you read by your eyes. Basically, it's a left brain, so meaning you are processing the language. Okay, but for right brain, if most of the information are in the picture or 3D, so you have to use the right brain to process it. That is, we call it as visualizing. So we are still consider listening, even though we read WhatsApp, Facebook. Okay, according to the science, basically a lady can do well than men if process the data through the left brain. Yes, okay. So just say bingo for yourself. This is the reason why during the primary school, basically all the lady, they are the rank number 1 to number 5. All men still playing with the sand only. So men only start getting mature after the secondary school and maybe the high school, and then especially mathematics and physics involve a lot of visualization. Then they start, rank top at the class. Do you agree, class? Do you agree? Is this happen in your livelihood? In your childhood? I think it happened like that, right? Basically, girls are getting more mature than men. Okay, so you see, you listen to the Dharma. Why we have to listen to the Dharma? Because the reason we mentioned already. Then next, you see how. Okay, all right, okay. According to the text, it said that, in order to get the Dharma, you have to, depends on the listening. Is there anybody can quote me any other example? You can learn the Dharma without using listening. Is there any way you can quote to me? Have you ever heard about that? Somebody learn things in their dream or in samadhi state. If your teacher appear in your dream and teach you, are you considering listening to the Dharma? Still listening, right? But without involve the ear faculty only, you don't use the ear, but we still maybe consider it as listening. But if in Abhidhamma, it's not considered listening, it's considered as what is they call it as a direct knowledge. Maybe you are using your conscious to learn the Dharma. That's a little bit different now. Not the ear, I think should be the conscious. I think that is without it could be verbaless, no verbal, because it's in the dream work, and also in the samadhi state. Basically, class in samadhi state, there is without any language in samadhi stage. So just now, remember, Yogwa read, it said the Buddha from 10 direction can teach us, but if you without high attainment, you can't get it. Why? Because they don't use language. It's a direct. We call it as a direct knowledge, or we call it as a abhyamsa. So class, you can please write it down. Abhyamsa. Okay, so class, you can Yeah, Abhidhammatasangha. Class, you can write down in the 10 Buddha direction, Abhidhammatasangha. That is the way, direct knowledge. We call it as a direct knowledge. Abhidhammatasangha. You understand without, you understand without going through the ear faculty. Abhidhammatasangha. Well, it seems listening, hearing the Dharma is so important, but we still got some misperception. Just now they put a case, it's about the Mandangi. Matangi is a prostitute, okay? He tried to entice Venerable Ananda. And according to the śrāmaṇera mantra, Ananda almost, how to say, break the precept, almost breaks the precept. But Manjushri Bodhisattva appeared with the śrāmaṇera mantra and saved Ananda. But if in Nikaya, there's also one sutta mentioned Matanga tried to entice Venerable Ananda. But this sutra, because it's Nikaya time, they don't use. The mantra doesn't appear like in that sutra. Okay. But the problem is not about the listening to the Dharma. The problem is Ananda, he listened to the Dharma, but without practicing. He is not vigorous enough to do the practice. So he doesn't have a strong samadhi power to encounter the mantra from Matangi. According to the Nikaya, Matangi also put some drug in the water, which offered to Ananda. So Ananda, after taking the drugs, the water, okay, I think the drug also take effects, and then so almost breaks the precept. Okay. So let's take a look at what else. Okay. Yeah, this is because it's attending to the Dharma. Okay, a few things to remind you all right? So you see, according to the Nagarjuna Bodhisattva, we have 3 sources to get the Dharma. Number 1, from Buddha directly. The second is from the Buddha disciple, or the commentary, all right? Okay, Buddha, second is the Buddha disciple. And the third one is from the scripture. Okay, third one is from the scripture. If let's say we get the information from Facebook, so actually it's considered, what is the source? It's from scripture or from Buddha disciple? Which one you think? Okay, scripture is number 1. From Buddha disciple is number 2. So which one? Okay. Yeah, Yukwao vote. Mr. Leong vote number 1. Okay, Mrs. Leong vote number 2. How about Sally and Yelena? From Facebook, is from the scripture or from the Buddha disciple? Okay, Elena vote number 1.
It depends on where they got the Dharma from.
Okay, I think Sally get it correct. Actually, both are correct, but actually both is included in Facebook. The Facebook can include maybe, Buddha disciple. I'm the Buddha disciple. You see me appear in the YouTube, right? So the teaching is from Buddha disciple, and if they quote from the sutra, they will be from the scripture. Okay, next, let's continue. So this is the source. But a few things we tried to Google to further understand. Okay, one is the Matangi enticement. Matangi is quite famous. Let's take a look. So we have to go to the Nikaya, Matangi, Ananda story. Matanga 就是摩登伽女啦，摩登伽女 So let me check first. You say Matangi used the black magic to enchant him. Okay, let me check. Now, class, take a look. You see, from Ananda's story, with many Nikaya Sutta emphasize the importance of moral precept and meditation. Because if you have moral precept and meditation, you can encounter the enchantment from a Tangi. Let me check. Is there any original text? Okay, so maybe from here. Ananda's story. Okay, so I think okay, class, regarding just now, Mr. Leung, you mentioned regards to Surangama, right? It's about this, you see, the story from the Mahayana Sutra. This one is the Matangi try to this is how Matangi tried to lure Ananda. So this is Surangama. Now you see, it seems a lot of information have been translated. Now you see, also got non-Chinese translation. You see, so okay, maybe one thing I have to clarify with you, class. Let's take a look. I see, if you go to the controversy, control home. Okay, I don't see here. Okay, class, basically, if you go through the Chinese Wikipedia, so some scholar, they suspect that Surangama mantra, Surangama Sutra is a fake sutra. Have you ever heard about that? Fake sutra. Because the scholar tried to suggest that to try to authentically prove that, okay, I mean, from the text, from the scripture, from the author, he suspects that this is authored by a Chinese. It's not by Indian. You see. Okay, for the scholar, the scholar learn Buddhism is quite different from us. You see, how does we learn Buddhism? Okay, so we go to the Buddhist organization, all right. Then we start to do the sutra chanting. And then people tell us that, oh, this is a Guanyin, this is the Amitabha, okay, we're not able to see it, but maybe, oh, okay, we know, okay. And then we go to join the ceremony. So sometimes some people will mention that they will tell us some ghost story. They say, oh, I see the ghost during the Di Zhang Pusa Fa Hui or what, right? Or not? So we listen, oh, yeah, maybe, okay. The face start a little bit, build up a little bit, all right. So we do more chanting. So every year we go to do the bowing. And then sometimes we hear people say that, oh, they get some response. Oh, they can feel the energy. They can see Bodhisattva. We believe. And then the more stronger we believe, then we have more faith. You see. So this is how we learn the Buddhism. But class, for scholar, they don't learn in this way. What scholar did, maybe, okay, they just get their first degree, all right. So then they need a job, okay, and they prefer Buddhism, so they will do the study. Before they do the scholastic study, they have to learn a lot of language, okay. Well, they don't do any chanting, they don't do a morning evening service, they don't do. Some ethically it's quite bad. Some they have more than one wife. They will play women, some they will take liquor. Well, it won't jeopardize the academic performance, you know. Some they can still do the academic quite well, you see. So they are the one that will try to find the authenticity, because they must try to bring up some issue. They must have they must have a periodic periodic journal presentations or to maintain their status as the professor or lecturer. So class, do you get it? So that is the scholastic way to learn the Buddhism, you see. Our way is quite different. But for them, they never consider that they talk about the authenticity will influence the faith and the belief of a devotees. They don't bother that. And maybe they don't even realize that. Okay, so they will use the view maybe from a sociologist way, maybe from archaeological way to see the text itself. For us, okay, we know Ananda, we know śrāmaṇera mantra, we have the faith, then we start to do the chanting, we want to build the samadhi, right? This is our way, right? But the scholar different, so they read through this. So from the scripture, they can have some, they can try to deduce that, oh, it seems that I think maybe this passage doesn't look like Buddhism. It looked like more Chinese way of presentation. So so they try to prove it. Okay. So anyway, what I would like to tell you that firstly, avoid reading this type of academic study because it may jeopardize your faith. Okay. Don't go simply read this type of academics journal as I try to advise. Firstly, except you have built a strong faith, except you are able to pinpoint their shortcoming of this type of scholar. Then you read it. You must be able to see their shortcoming first. If you cannot see the shortcoming, you will be overcome by them. You see, you will lose your faith. Okay, for me, okay, as long as the spirit behind, the essence is as long as the essence is the same with the Nikaya, with the sutra, it doesn't matter who is the author. For me, okay, even though archaeologically prove that it is about 3rd or 4th century article, it doesn't matter because the essence is so important. I'm able to know it. And finally, people by reading the sutra and start to do the cultivation, that will be fine already. Okay, so class, be careful regards this. But anyway, sometimes this type of academically study will helps us to differentiate the things. You see, if without the scholar suggests, to pinpoint the mistake, maybe I will think that just change the 42 Sittam syllabus, you really can be enlightened. I will believe maybe at that time. But now, I won't deny that, but maybe just for samadhi, if for Vipassana, I prefer Abhidhamma way, which use Vipassana. Okay, well, this type of thing, only scholars are able to pinpoint it out. So meaning to say that if you want to read academic study, this type of journal, there's no good and bad. How good or how bad, it depends who is the author and who teach you. I think that is the point. You must find the right author and the right people to teach you this type of thing, so that you wouldn't be misguided and misled by the scholar. Okay, class, do you get it? I just remind you. Because now it seems Surangama camp is quite popular. Everywhere, people they try to make it popular. It seems they make a success. Here, I think nearly everybody joined the Surangama camp before, right? Right. Anybody join Surangama the retreat before? No. So maybe I'm wrong. Okay, yeah. So this is one thing to remind you, right? So second thing we should try to emphasize is okay. Let's take a look. One is the Nagarjuna Bodhisattva, because he's the author for the great treatise of the wisdom. Nagarjuna. You heard about him? What actor appeared? Nagarjuna. Oh, I think this is spelled correct. How come actor appeared? This is the one. Okay, Nagarjuna. Okay, see, is after Christ 150 to 250. Okay, CE. CE stand for century era or what? Elena, CE stand for what? You don't know, Elena? Mr. Leong, you also don't know. CE stand for what? Okay, I should ask a history teacher. You are not history teacher. Okay, it's about 150 to 250.
C4, it is common. CE means common era.
Common era. All right.
Common era.
Okay, got it. Okay, class. Basically, this era is the Mahayana. Is the Buddhism. I mean, the Buddhism is in the Mahayana stage, Okay, so you see, it's a Mahayana Buddhist thinker, scholar, saint, and philosopher. Okay, right. Let's take a look. So Nagarjuna is widely considered the founder of the Madhyamika school of Buddhist philosophy and defender of the Mahayana movement. So class, basically, how do we create a Mahayana movement? Before 150 common era, there is a sectarian school of Buddhism. It's so common and popular, Sectarian mean what? Meaning to say that basically they are the bhikkhu. Buddhism has been fully developed until to a very academic study, you see, especially Savastivada. So all the monks just do the academic study. They never bother what happened outside the people, So what a Mahayana movement meaning to say that there's a group of people led by, spearheaded by Nagarjuna, try to criticize them, see, because they make Buddhism so complicated, for Savastivada. Wow, they make it so complicated. So they try to criticize them and try to fight with them, you see. I mean, verbally, have a debate with them. So there's a Mahayana movement. So Buddhism, it appears that at that time, a lot of debate appeared. Some Mahayanists, they come to the schism, the sectarian, other sectarian of the Buddhism, they try to debate. Mahayana, win most of the time, you see. So it seems that most of the temples start to become Mahayana temple, and during the journey from Xuanzhuang and Faxian, they notice, Mahayana is getting stronger and stronger. Hey, you just bear in mind, Elena, this Mahayana doesn't mean the Mahayana you practice. And Elena, in Tongxianzi temple, it's not that time Mahayana, not just taking vegetarian, do some bowing, or then we are Mahayana. No, the Mahayana are more on debating and meditation, I think, Madhyamika. So they always they emphasize that simplicity, they don't like the very complication of the text. That is what the Mahayana did at the time. We call it as a Mahayana movement. You see, they are more on Madhyamika philosophy of emptiness, you see. Okay, so from here you can go further, the background regards the Nagarjuna. So this is the words, Mula Dhyamika Karika. So we mentioned this before. Okay, then they will do some comparison with Hinduism, Mahayananism, and Pihonism. I don't know what is it. Okay, so this is something about the Mahayana. You see how the background. First and second century, common era was divided into various states, including the Kushan Empire and the Satavahana Kingdom. At this point, the Buddhist history, you see. Okay. So never mind, it's enough already. So class, if you're interested, you can go in further understand Nagarjuna. Okay, then besides this, one thing I want to bring your attention is this. Okay, Buddha of the 10 direction. There is a sutra, a class basically the sutra which mentioned that the 10 Buddha appear from the 10 direction. It's not from Indian, it's from Middle East. What's the name? Okay, let me show you the Sanskrit. This sutra, if you practice accordingly, the Buddha from 10 direction will appear and speak Dharma with you. Will you feel scared or not? If you do the practice, suddenly the Buddha appeared in 10 direction and then they talk Dharma to you. Say it, are you feel scary at the moment?
No, we will be very happy.
So many Buddha.
Yeah.
Hey, you have never worried that you got schizophrenia. You never
No.
no confidence. But basically you can talk to nobody, I think. Okay. So the sutra, the meaning is this. So class, this is the name. A Prachupanna. Let me show you. Okay, a class. Oh, this is very long. Let me see. A Prachupanna Buddha Sammukha Vastita Samadhi Sutra. Maybe we use the more simple Prachupanna Samadhi Sutra. Class, please copy down. Prachupanna Samadhi Sutra. Prachupanna means 10 Buddha from 10 direction appeared. That is the meaning. Exactly what the sentence mentioned. Okay, so you understand that. Because the text is called how to say the text is originally in Middle East, Afghanistan, So I don't think Theravada heard it before. And in Xinjiang, the Chinese Buddhism is greatly influenced by the Middle East Buddhism, Middle East mean what? Afghanistan, Pakistan, and also the Xinjiang, They call it as the Western region, So meaning to say that Chinese Buddhism are channeled from there. We channel from there. It's not directly from India. You have to know this. So this type of the Prachupanna is common in Xinjiang at that time, Okay. So let me check. Is there any Sanskrit text for you to go further or not? So let's take a look. Prachupanna. A god, class a god. You see, If there's a Wikipedia, this is good, you see. You see, it's an early Mahayana Buddhist text, you see. Yes, it's in the Gandhara area. Gandhara area is somewhere in northern part Indian, Pakistan. It's somewhere in Pakistan, Afghanistan. It's a Gandhara. It's about 1st century before Christ, you see. Very early, you see. So it translates Sutra on the Samadhi for encountering face-to-face the Buddha of the present, you see. You can encounter the Buddha face-to-face, you see. According to the Sutra, the Buddha will talk to you, Okay, face-to-face talk to you. But if you think, okay, this is the real Buddha, you talk to the real Buddha, it is not right. You should think that the Buddha appeared is due to your mind. Your heart make the manifestation of Buddha. That will be correct. So this type of the Buddhism, this type of the Buddha, even though it's about the Buddha, but it is more profound, You have to go deep to understand everything created by the mind. If you compare with just Amitofo, the chanting, this type of the sutra, can lead you to the deeper state, a more profound state of the prajna, the way I see it. So let's take a look. Okay, so the history is translated by the Kushan Buddhist monk Loka Senma. So class, you can write it down. This is translated by the Loka Senma at the Han capital of the Luoyang. Okay, this translation together with the Prajna Paramita Sutra, you see, one of the earliest historically database text of the Mahayana tradition. Is very early. Let's take a look. You see, according to this, you see, this contains the first known mention of the Buddha Amitabha and the Pure Land. You see, it is even early than to the 5 Pure Land Sutra. You see, it's early than that. You see. It's Amitabha and the Pure Land. Yeah, and we noticed that already. I'm so thankful to the Prachupana Samadhi Sutra, You know why? Because I wrote the article regards this, and I could apply for a scholarship, and I get the scholarship. So I'm so thankful to the Prachupana Buddha, not for the cultivation, it's for the scholarship. I get a sum of money. Funny, huh? No, because in Taiwan, there's a lot of Buddhist organization, they keep some fund in the bank FD. So basically, it will accrue interest, yearly interest. So they use the interest as a reward for the scholarship. You have to write an article for them. They call it as a scholarship. Actually, it's just like a reward. But you have to write the article based on their request. So I remember I submit this article. Okay, and then I get the reward. It's so funny. Okay, so you see the condensed. It said the origin of the Pure Land Buddhism. So we know that. So one of the samadhi is the Prachupana Samadhi. Okay, basically, this samadhi is still practiced nowadays in Taiwan. There's one senior monk, the name is Miao Lian Changlao. He did it. What's the condition? The condition is you do the chanting and you cannot lie down. The condition, you cannot lie down. You just do the chanting, always absorb to the Buddha name. All right. About 10 days, I think 7 days or 10 days. And then until the Buddha appeared. So if you do this, it's quite difficult because you are not allowed to lie down, So just chanting the Buddha name. In Taiwan, got Miao Lian Changlao. I think he have finished, he have done for a few times. You agree, you heard about that. So he is the one quite famous for this practice. So Elena, we like to try, Elena. So no lie down, just do the chanting from dawn to dusk for many days. 到時Buddha 仲未做成，已經變好似鬼咁樣，一日冇瞓就變咗鬼咗啦。7 days no sleeping 話，死咯咁樣我。So this is the method 啦，so let you know 啦，okay。And then here you can still see there's some reference you see Princeton Dictionary of Buddhism. And you see Shinko Mochizuki, meaning to say that this is the scholar study from them. Sometimes we need the scholar to help us to decipher and interpret the text. We need their works because they master various of the language. Okay, but we just need their skill will be enough. Don't take that conclusion. The conclusion is it's nonsense. We just say, oh, this is the culture only. They don't believe all this type of thing. Okay. Am I right? If they still drink the liquor and they got so many wives, how will they believe the Buddha appeared from the 10 direction? Right? It's possible for them to appear. So they say, the conclusion, it must be from the Buddhism culture or Indian culture, influenced by what culture, or maybe partial hallucination. They may conclude this way, you see. So don't take the conclusion. Am I bad mouth about them? Huh? No lah, not bad mouth. Huh? Because I have to remind you all. If I do remind you all, then you'll be poisoned by them. Yes, Mr. Leong, any question?
Yes, Sifu, I would like to ask, these Japanese monks, they all have wife or?
Yes, they all have wife, yes. They all have wife. Yeah. So any question regards they're having wife?
So what you're saying that if they have wives, then they are not pure in the sense lah.
Oh well, okay. For Japanese, this is the tradition because okay, not pure. Yeah, you can say so. I'm not that pure. Not okay. I ask you one question. Do you mind that people who do the Buddhism study tell you the Buddha from 10 direction? If let's say they got many wives and they're alcoholic, do you mind or not? Do you mind? Does it matter? Matter or doesn't matter? Tell me, matter or doesn't matter?
Yeah.
Matter, right? Does matter. So that's why I say because this is about the Sila Samadhi Panya, but the author is the one who got so many wives and also is an alcoholic. You can't take it, right? Okay, next.
Because it's also against the third precept.
Yes, that's why. So this is the reason why I say don't trust the conclusion. Because if they always you see, some they are even drunken during the rite of disease. So how can you believe a person who already drunken? You see, am I right?
That's against precept number 5 lah.
Many precept against many precept.
Yeah.
I upload this video clip. Will I create trouble by myself or anybody can sue me? This clip if I upload yes, any consultant?
Through our WhatsApp only lah. No need YouTube. Through our WhatsApp.
Okay. I don't exactly name people. Is that okay? Elena, is it okay?
As long as no names mentioned, you only say scholars, so there's millions of scholars in town.
So even worse because I scold everybody, all the scholars. Even worse already, even worse because you scold everybody already. Because
You're scolding everybody.
yeah. Okay, so we keep on class. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, now we go to the next paragraph. Okay, so Kamling, can you please write it up?
Yeah. From the hearing, the hearing of the true Dharma can be divided into four meritorious categories. Number one, by hearing the Dharma, one knows the Dharmas. One knows the good Dharmas, the bad Dharmas, the faulty Dharmas, the faultless Dharmas, and so forth. After hearing about these, one knows them well. One knows what should be included in one's practice and what should be abandoned. Number two, by hearing the true Dharma, one halts all evils, evil thoughts or evil actions, both physically and verbal. When one knows about evil and its consequences, one can then put an end to it. By hearing the true Dharma, one puts an end to all sorts of meaningless matters. Some non-Buddhists, although they wish for emancipation, go astray and practice various ascetic deeds like fasting, refusing to sleep, going naked, and so on, thinking that these ascetic behaviors they can attain the way. Not only do they lead an ascetic life themselves, they teach others to do the same. The Buddha called these practices meaningless. There are foolish matters that bring suffering on oneself. Upon hearing the Buddha's true Dharma, one will naturally keep one's distance from them. One will practice the right way and not adopt non-Buddhist way. Number four, from listening to the true Dharma and practicing according to the proper way, one attains the emancipation of nirvana.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sifu, want to ask, you heard of this diamond cutter Geshe Michael Roach?
Yes.
So what is his teaching? My friend, like they do insurance, they adopt his way of what emptiness or what. I've been to one of his lecture lah. So after that I didn't, because it's like, don't know, it's through go what you want to get wealth or all that. Is it? Because he
run the business lah,
it's a business way, right?
using the Buddhism philosophy to run the business, something like that.
Right. So I feel it's not very right. So I so did.
The author was the monk before lah.
Yes.
So he tried to use the philosophy to run the business. Okay.
There's a lot of followers actually among them.
Well, I think it is not a problem. The intention is important lah. You run business is not bad as long as the business is the right livelihood. And what's the purpose of earning the money? That's the point lah. Earning money itself is not bad lah.
Yeah. True.
Okay, thank you so much. Class, let's take a look. We mentioned all this before. By listening to the Buddha number one, okay, so we know what should be included in the practice, what shouldn't, because you have to listen. Second, you will host all the evil, okay. So until now, we do according to the precept, and we understand precept through listening, you see. And the third one, we will end all the nonsense activity in Indian basically all the non-Buddhists they will try to fast until very thin. They will do all the nonsense, unnecessary suffering by themselves. Okay, recently there's Mahakumbha Mela is conducted now, and they don't bother the COVID and the Hinduism, they don't really get frightened with the COVID-19, you know. It's about, according to the statistic, it's about means 100 million people go to the river and bath, you know. Just recently only, you know. It's in the Haritwa. So let me show you a little bit. I just go through. Okay, so let's take a look. Kumbh Mela 2021, yes. You see? Wow, terrible. I think this might be the old picture. You see? This is what they do during the Kumbh Mela, you see.
But recently also I saw this one this year only, last month.
It was 2021, yes.
Yes.
You see, this is the reason one, you see. It's so crowded, you see. It's fanatic or proper to describe this activity that really don't bother COVID-19. Can we call it as a fanatic? Yes, Sally agree. Very fanatic. Because what they try to do, by bath in the river, all the sin will be removed by the river. So next life, you will be reincarnated to the more, to the better place. So that is Mahakumbh Mela. But next time, if I go to India, maybe I want to go to watch them. More interesting. Mahakumpame.
People will attain attain Buddhahood.
What lah?
Attain Buddhahood then.
No, you won't attain Buddha. This is more interesting because I have already visited all the holy sites and end up I see all the bricks only, you know. Here is more human. A lot of people naked, you know. Wow, million people naked. It's very interesting to see and see how the power of the yoga and the energy. Yeah. Maybe someday we'll walk on the river. I think Elena, you should go lah. You're so curious. I think better than the Egypt lah. Egypt, all things are fake one. Here's a more real, right?
You should go to the European beach lah. European, the orang putih.
No. You want to go to European, you want to go to India. This is more authentic. This is more religious orientation. Yes, Elena want to say something?
I go there, I fly.
I'm not like
You that one walk on the water, I'll fly on top of it.
It's impossible. Mr. Leong, you want to say something, Mr. Leong? Yeah.
Yes, Sifu, the one, the sect of monks that you are talking about going naked, is this the Abhayagiri sect?
Again, what lah?
Abhayagiri sect.
Abhayagiri.
S-E.
Abhayagiri.
Abhayagiri sect. Yes.
I don't know. You have to key in the words to me. I don't really understand. Okay. So that is the what. This is Buddha called this all is nonsense practice. This is, it doesn't really will lead you for a nibbana according to the Buddhism our Buddha mentioned that But of course here about the fasting as I know sometimes fasting is play roles as detoxification. All right. Sometimes after the detox, you can meditate better. I believe that but not long-term fasting until you just all the boon appeared, the rib cage appeared. Not that level maybe intermittent fasting is quite. I think the intermittent fasting is quite necessary for everybody nowadays because we are over-nutrient. Am I right? We are all over-nutrient. Through fasting, then all the obesity, high blood pressure, all will be resolved. Am I right? So this is for the healthy purpose. Okay, we all know this. So immediately we go to the way to listen. Okay, Mr. Leong, do you see there's a chat here? You can do some typing in the chat, you know. You call Abhyanagari sex. Okay, you have to type it from me. Sometimes I have to check a little bit. Do you see the chat there? You just do typing on the chat. Mr. Leong, do you see the chat there? You do a little bit typing, the terminology for me to confirm it. Okay. So next paragraph, the way to listen. Sally, can you please read it out? Okay.
The ways to listen. 18. Like a vessel to hold water, like a seed to be planted in the ground, one should avoid the three mistakes by listening attentively, thoughtfully, and mindfully. When Buddha was teaching the true Dharma, he always exhorted his audiences by saying, listen attentively, think carefully, and remember well. He said this because if one listens to Dharma improperly, one cannot receive the merit of hearing the Dharma. Two metaphors can illustrate the three mistakes to be avoided when attending to the Dharma. 1. Suppose when it is raining, one puts out vessels, bowls, cups, or pots, etc. to catch the rainwater. If one expects to use this water, one should avoid 1. Placing the bowl or cup upside down on the ground. 2. Putting the bowl or cup that has filthy or poisonous substances inside, so that the water obtained is harmful. 3. Putting out a bowl or cup that, though clean and poison-free, is cracked and leaked. Inattention to the Dharma is similar. First, those who do not pay attention, do not concentrate, are like the upside-down bowl. Even though they may listen, they do not hear. Second, people may concentrate on hearing the teachings, but have prejudices, doubt, and perverted views. like the filth and poison in the bowl. Then, not only do they not develop merit from listening to the true Dharma, they may even commit the offense of slandering the Dharma. Third, people's minds may be without prejudices or doubt, but nonetheless are scattered and busy. Then, like the cracked bowl, they soon lose everything. If one attends to Dharma like this, by making these three mistakes, one will not receive the merit of hearing the Dharma. So one should listen attentively, thoughtfully, and mindfully.
Thank you so much.
The, sec-
Yeah, please continue the second metaphor. Yeah, please continue.
the second metaphor is for planting grains or beads. One, seed scattered onto the sand and rock will not germinate. Seed scattered onto the soil covered with thick, coarse undergrowth may germinate but will not grow. 3. Seeds scattered onto fertilized soil clear of undesirable weeds will, if not planted deep enough, soon be eaten by birds. If seeds are sown like this, how can there be a harvest? Attending to the Dharma is similar. Hearing the Dharma, being influenced through listening, is the Dharma seed of resolution to transcend the world. If one is inattentive in receiving the Dharma or allows it to become contaminated after receiving it, or even if one's mind is pure but forgets the Dharma soon afterwards, then having listened to the Dharma in this way, one will not get the result. If one wants to benefit from hearing the Dharma, therefore, one should avoid these three mistakes and be sure to hear well, consider well, and remember well.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, we try to digest. Yeah, finish. Okay, Mr. Leong. Okay, I already checked. Why do you want? Why would you like to mention Abhiyagiri sect? Why do you mention this? For what?
Oh, I just want to let them know that these are the sects that goes naked and all this, and they are very staunch in their behavior and their cultivation.
Okay, sorry. You mean they behave awkward? That's what you mean?
They are like as if they are behaving like to the extreme lah.
Oh, being to the extreme. Oh, I see. Let me check. Here the definition a little bit different. You see. Okay, you see. This is the school of Abhiyagiri and Sri Lanka. If let's say, basically, okay, if an Abhigiri sect in Sri Lanka is the one who is more open-minded actually. The definition is quite different with what you know. They are more open-minded, and you can find the Mahayana teaching in this Abhigiri sect in Sri Lanka. So Mr. Leong is quite different with what you think. I mean the definition from this.
But I'm talking about this sect in India.
In
India.
Oh, okay. I don't really know that. If in Sri Lanka, they are quite open-minded sect. Okay, so class, so just now we mentioned is the attitude of learning to the Dharma. And basically, I think this is a quite simple analogy to understand. So this is the cup, okay? If let's say the cup is luggage, meaning to say you are very busy and forgetful to the Dharma, okay? You should know this. Second is the cup. If you upside down the cup, so you can't fill in more water to the cup, all right? So it's about the attitude. You could be very arrogant and you are very full of the knowledge, okay? So you just upside down the cup, okay? And the third, maybe you put some poison into the cup, okay? And meaning to say you are prejudiced, okay? So you should try to avoid that. When you come to learn the Dharma, you must be attentive, not forgetful, okay? And also without prejudice, so that whatever the Dharma can pour inside to your cup. So I think the attitude is applicable to your working environment. If you without these three proper attitude, you can't work well, I think. Okay, so that is the meaning for the whole sentence. Okay, class, I think this analogy is already enough. So regarding the second metaphor, the planting grain, so it doesn't matter, we don't go through this. So upside down means you don't pay attention, upside down. Basically, there's one more analogy is about the cup is full. Once the cup is full, meaning to say you are arrogant, then you can learn some more. So you have to empty your cup first before you can learn something. Okay. Nowadays, I think this is a quite serious problem because nowadays the information is easily accessible, you see. So people, they are so full before they come to the class, you see. So this is the problem. You have to empty now. I can't help you to empty. You have to empty yourself first so that you can learn more things. Okay. All right. So next. Okay, next paragraph. So Mr. Leong, can you please read through it? Think of the oneself.
Think of oneself as being sick, in need of a doctor and medicine. Thinking of the need to be treated intensively, one should follow what one has learned and practice it. The Buddha has said that the Dharma is like a mirror. When listening to the Buddha's Dharma, what attitude should one have? Sichamoni Buddha said he, the Tathagata, appeared in his world for the sake of curing three physical illnesses, aging, sickness, and death. And there are three mental illnesses, that is desire, anger, and ignorance. In other words, the Buddha is supreme medical doctor. The Dharma is the excellent medicine, and the Sangha is the nurse. The treasures appear in this world for the relief of living beings, serious physical and mental illnesses. When listening to the Dharma, therefore, one should have the following thoughts. First, one should think of oneself as sick, saying, since beginningless time, I have been tangled with serious physical and mental illnesses, suffering miserably and endlessly in the cycle of births and deaths. The fact that one has serious illnesses that lead to suffering must be firmly recognized. If one does not think that one is sick, or if one knows that one is sick but does not want any treatment, then there is no reason to seek the Buddha Dharma. Second, one think of needing a doctor. Having recognized that one's illnesses cannot be treated by ordinary people, one must seek the Buddha's disciples, those who teach the Dharma, the excellent doctors who can cure serious illnesses. Approach these good and knowledgeable people, therefore, and enlist their service with reverence and offerings, as do the sick who trust the doctors and courteously request treatment. Third, one should think of needing medicine. A doctor administers medicine to treat illnesses. No one is cured just from reading the prescription. Those who teach the Dharma are like doctors in this way. After they have given instructions on the method of practice, one has to make this Dharma medicine. Otherwise, it is like reading the prescriptions only. This will not do any good. As the Buddha says in the sutta, although I have proclaimed the excellent Dharma, if after you have heard it, you do not practice, then you are like the sick man who only carries around bags of medicine. This will obviously not cure illnesses. Fourth, one should think of needing intensive treatment. The serious illnesses of birth and death are fatal. If one is fortunate, one may meet an excellent doctor with excellent medicine, which one must take for a long time before one can see the therapeutic effects. However, many students of Buddhism want to see results immediately. Having practiced very little and not finding relief from the grave illnesses of birth and death, they are disappointed and become lazy. How can there be any hope if one does not practice diligently?
Okay, thank you so much.
The Buddha.
Oh,
Okay. The Dhamma, the Buddha Dhamma is not just any kind of knowledge.
Hey, enough already. You read so many, okay.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, class, let's take a look. Okay, now it's about the attitude to the Dharma. Okay, basically the attitude to the Dharma is just like an attitude for a patient. Okay, class, will you go to hospital if without any sickness? No, you wouldn't go, right? So it's the same. You have to recognize a problem in the first place. Okay, in Buddhism study. Basically, it's quite hard for people to recognize. Why? Because people are so busy in working. Okay, so after working, they need the entertainment. So no time for them to recognize their own problem. Okay, basically, people will come to Buddhism once they feel very stressful. So this is the reason why our meditation for beginners, it's last longer. It's very good in the market. I have conducted about, I think, 40, more than 40 intakes. It's about 11, 12 years. Why? Because when you talk about meditation, it's about stress reduction, so the market come. But here, if you talk about, you got ignorance, you are about for a reincarnation, well, this is for the senior only. People about to retire will come and listen. Oh, okay, I will reincarnation. They want to learn the Dharma. So it's quite hard. To make it popular, to recognize the problem. So first, you recognize your own problem. All right. Second, you recognize then you are the patient. Okay, you know that you are the patient. And the third one, you recognize that the triple gem. Okay, they are the doctor. Buddha is the doctor, and we are the one to help the Buddha. But nowadays, some if they got this type of problem, they might not necessarily come to Buddhism because they got so many religions. They have a wide variety of choice. So that is the problem nowadays. And too many choice. Information is so accessible. So now people is getting confused, and they will try many things. But they just try a little bit here and there, That is nowadays the problem today. And then again, okay, then once you have to feel you are quite need, you are quite urgent and need the medicine, because you recognize that you need the intensive care. Now the people, they wouldn't realize they need the intensive treatment. But for you, if especially for elderly people and who is not healthy, they can feel the urgent. So they will work very hard to do the chanting, to do the meditation. But I think most people, they don't feel that. Okay, so that is the problem. All right. And then lastly, about the medicine, the treatment. Okay, nowadays also they got so many treatment. Okay, so many treatment, and people prefer reading more than practice. I think nowadays, because they got so many information. Maybe you just check your WhatsApp, but for a whole day you cannot finish the group from the WhatsApp already, right? If your people send you the video clip, you have to spend 10 minutes for one video clip. You see, if you got 10 group, you don't even have enough time to digest the information, and it seems it is more interesting reading the WhatsApp compared to the meditation, right? So meaning to say that what Buddhism talk about just now is very good, but it seems nowadays we have problem to make people to feel all this. Am I right? It's quite hard for them to feel all these things. You see, information is so easy. Okay, 2,000 years ago, you see, the first monk in China, the name is Zhu Sixing. You see, well, he discovered some mistake in the sutra. Okay, so he has to travel 1 month from Xi'an to the Xinjiang, and have to cross the desert. Okay, I need 1 month. Okay, to journey in order to reach the place and try to check the authenticity of the spelling only, so at that time, people will feel so precious to the Dharma because it is quite hard to get, you see. But now, so many information already. So meaning to say that now I think we have to think maybe in a different way. So what's your suggestion? I think maybe now people read a lot with the computer work information too easy, accessible. Yeah, what do you think? What do you think? It seems what we talk about today, not that practical to the modern day people already. Okay, never mind. So I let okay. So we stop our class here. Okay.